Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening. Cut purse action and wound up cutting him, but my bullshit did quite well, and I covered that up. Did I miss with my juggling knives? And then we had the bard also help cover for me my faux pas, and we have planned a circus performance for the town later the evening, where of course the guards are supposed to come free, but I think we're planning to give them an extra special show that they probably won't like.
Oh,
they won't forget
and they're abusing this poor populace.
And let's not forget the
DDs
bard
rolled
a 20 on her performance to
Yep.
play the crowd.
Also, I feel like this will be a show that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
now how long that will be, we don't know.
No, that's the guards. We don't know how long theirs will be.
That's what I meant.
The other guard, on the other hand, did get his purse lightened by you.
Yes.
Yes. You.
Lord moted be. Could not resist the opportunity, and thus got your advantage.
So, Evie, can you see the map?
Yeah, but we need to change the lamp.
These are the wizards.
Yes, I
the blue
have
and the white
inspiration
ones.
as well.
These are the, I can see them across the table dice.
They're pretty.
That's why I like them. My rule with dice is, can I see them across the table?
Back.
So who all has inspiration?
I think I have inspiration. I can't remember. Check my sheet.
You do not have one marked in the corner, but you mark it in a separate place?
No. It's if I didn't mark it on my sheet in the proper place, it's not there.
What they're referring to is that box right there. Because you were being,
I didn't mark it, but I remember the butt-licking comment.
How many cookies do we want?
I want at least 2 to 3.
So there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so a dozen.
Yeah,
that sounds like a plan.
Some for me.
Make 15 actually, because that way there's 3 for each of us.
Alright.
Because I know once I bite into a warm, tasty snickerdoodle, I can't stop at just 2.
That's solid.
You need all the snickerdoodle.
You're my snickerdoodle.
Aww.
Aww.
She's sucking up now. She doesn't want to die.
I know you'll kill me regardless of whether I suck up or not.
And Evie, did you have inspiration?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yep, I do have an inspiration.
Let's see, where on the map is a good place?
No, you can only have one at one time.
But that's just what
No,
that is.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's you can only have one at a time.
Well, you guys were basically where we wrapped up.
Earn it by acting to your
No, stop.
Sorry,
to
everybody
your,
talking over each other.
things, your personality traits.
Okay.
By acting towards those, but then hint to hint saying, "Hey,
In
because
case I
of
missed
this."
it, playing in character.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a reward for playing a character.
Well, good. I'm quite a character, so that shouldn't be a problem.
That's an understatement.
And you were grabbing.
I'm looking to see where on the camera the map is versus where I could be seen.
An avalanche of things.
Well, I was moving it so I could negotiate it with the other hand.
Okay.
as this brief introduction is brought to you by Snickerdoodles, the cookie everyone loves.
Yes. Holiday love in cookie form. Snickerdoodles. Yum.
Did you say holiday love in cookie form?
Yes.
That's perfect.
I've thought about going into voice acting.
You-
With what time?
Right. Well,
I've done a little bit of voice acting, actually.
you'll have more time when
Yep.
you're,
Graduated. May
graduating.
cannot come soon enough.
Girl, I'm gonna make a little bit more than 15 just because I'm gonna finish off this top layer.
Now these are fundraising cookies. Because I got them for a school fundraiser for a coworker. So
Yay.
hopefully they're tasty. I'm sure they will be because they want repeat business.
Yeah. See, my thing is, a week before I started my diet, I spent $60 on Girl Scout cookies. Like a champion.
Is it that time?
Yes,
that
it
time.
is.
Do you have a,
Hey, is
do you have
Devaney
a
still
favorite
doing
flavor?
it?
Thin Mint.
We gotta put in our
yes,
order
they
for
were
her.
all out when I
Yes.
bought
She's
them.
still doing it.
But I spent $60 on not Thin Mints, so now I need to go spend like $40 on just Thin Mints. And
Right.
I'm gonna pack my freezer, and I'm gonna be like selling them like crack for the rest of the year.
Wait, there's no cookie besides the Thin Mint.
What's a
Thin
cookie?
Mint is the only cookie.
Yeah, what's a cookie? I thought they were all Thin Mints.
Thin Mint is the only way.
Have you ever had hot chocolate with Thin Mints? Crush them up into the hot chocolate?
No.
No.
Oh, it's
Don't
good.
forget-
Also
No,
chocolate
you
ice
can
cream.
Mix them minty.
Hold on. Evie's trying to say something.
The lemon cookies are great for road trips.
Yes,
Oh.
or if it's hot out and you eat them frozen, they're so refreshing. It's like lemonade, but with carbs.
Exactly.
Kira likes the, what is it? The coconut ones? The
Samoas.
The Samoas. That's Kiri, one of
They're pretty
Kiri's
good.
favorite.
Nice.
As I add soda to my alcohol. So the group paraded
C'est bon.
into town. The bard leading the way, as
We
of
were
course
doing
the bard
the
should.
whole...
I'm going to be scouting the back
Big.
alleys.
Okay.
Scouting the back alleys.
As the gnome is scouting the back alleys.
We literally did the whole incoming troop, dancing bears.
Paraded
Yeah,
down the
whatnot.
streets.
I'm sure we have a
Right.
druid in our midst.
Yep.
Who is a
Right.
dancing bear.
You don't have a druid.
Yeah, I mean,
We had an
we're not
NPC.
just 5 people.
Yes, you are.
So
You have your 3 NPCs.
I thought we
You
had-
have Albert.
Oh, yes. The
Albert, the Albert.
Albert.
But did we decide if
No,
Albert was...
no, he was the
The,
three,
the
they're
souvenir.
humans.
Yeah.
They're humans.
You have a mime,
But-
you have a concessionaire guy, / souvenir guy, and third guy who's got no name yet.
But we just call him Albert because it sounds like
Right. Right.
which, you know.
So
Right.
so the group has paraded into town.
Right.
Our orc cleric has gotten into some thievery shenaniganry.
Saunter,
Our-
trickery.
The bard
Our-
helped recover the
Rogues
thieves'
botched.
gaff on the
Purse cutting.
natural 1 roll on the...
Right.
And
She almost got
cutting
dragged away.
the cut purse, cut the wrong purse.
Person.
Person.
And of course that guard kept giving her the eye.
You missed the artery.
Yes. And I balance the dagger on my fingertip and glare back. I
Right.
put the glare back. Props to any who get that reference. I feel you, babe.
So you guys have come into town. The gnome has peeled off from the group. It's of course you guys are the #1 attraction in town. If people are putting down their tools, you're stopping their work to see you guys coming in. You know, it's one of those things of this small community of like maybe 900 people. You are
That's
the
big.
entertainment.
That's not
Yes.
small.
That
Oh,
is-
that's if you were to get all of the surrounding community together.
Right.
And you guys know this town. You go through here every year. This is like the first stop.
Mm.
It's the highlight of your guys' troop. You know, this is the place where you are loved and welcome and accepted.
Right. A home away from home.
Exactly.
Let us entertain you. Let us make you smile.
The bard is back in town.
God is back in town.
Bard's trying to
Bard.
remember a voice for this character.
English.
Right,
But
but
it's low.
it's low. It's low. It's not. You know.
Middle English.
It's no. Oh no! You're so cheeky and so wrong. It's not Ponzi. It's just not. One of those toffs. It's right over the people. It's where it's at. So I just have to remember that. Eggsy. I'm channeling Eggsy as a lesbian bard. That's what I'm doing. It's very complicated.
And of course, Blain, our orc cleric, is going to have to find his voice.
Right.
Because near she thought,
Oh,
Achilles hand told and so.
Or that, which I can sit next to that.
No,
Jesus Christ.
she's gonna start channeling. She will start channeling Oriona O'Toole.
Which would be we can't do that. I'm not settled in my accent yet. Jesus.
Well, mine'll never be settled.
Oh, I'm gonna murder you! Murder!
That's about all I can do with that yet.
All right. Well, that
Just go.
Right.
Bloody hell, you wanker!
right, wanker. All right.
Ray, Violet loves you just as you are.
Oh, thank you, Violet.
See, you just need that one little piece.
Right, which I just haven't found quite yet.
Your
So-
Eliza Doolittle.
Right,
Okay,
Yes.
drop your H's.
my H's.
Exactly.
Right, but it's not just that the H's that I need to not have. It's sort of a bit of a different, thing that's going on. But I feel all right with it right now, mostly. Right.
Just give it some time.
Well, I know, but don't go Irish, or I will.
I am Irish.
I mean, it's a bloody accent.
In her defense, she did just have her throat ripped out.
Right. Well, on this a defense. Anyway, so.
Okay, so you guys are parading into town. Is there anything specifically you're doing as you're parading through town? I mean, you guys are the walk of the town right now.
I am juggling daggers.
Okay.
But for this part, though, they're blunt ones.
They're practice daggers.
Yeah, because,
Right.
we're moving and there are kids and...
That's adorable when
And,
you think of that.
You're so,
No,
you're
we
so-
care
Kids
about
are
the
more points and
people.
small tablets.
I'm not going to risk blunting one... I'm not going to risk blunting one of my fine blades on the off chance that some stupid person bumps into me.
Right.
So
Right.
are you going to stop off at the Tat House, which you have friends at, or are you going to go straight to the Lord's Manor?
Well, I mean...
I think that we should visit the Lord Manor first. It is only polite.
Right.
And then we hit the tapas.
Right, because he's like our patron. And really, he's one of the few toffs that we can actually maybe trust, even though they're all clearly, essentially, suspects.
We're all watching you dress.
Not nice sweatshirt.
It suddenly got chilly. The sun went down and it got chilly.
Sorry, my heart's been wandering.
Ah.
So as your procession is heading down to the Lord's Manor, you notice when you hit the center of the marketplace, there seems to be a group of about 6 gentlemen that look like the ones that you dealt with when you first came into town that had the city watch.
The Gald.
That they seem to be giving you the eye, and they seem to be hanging around the fountain in the center of town, just looking at your little procession as you guys all walk around. Of course, people are cheering. People are immediately closing their shop that you're here.
Have we seen these guards before?
You haven't. These are all new faces.
And they're all men.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all
They're
giving us
all-
blurry eyeballs.
Most of them have, rough features. Their nose has been broken a few times. You get the feeling that they're very thuggish.
They are certainly.
Wait, I am so surprised.
And they're giving us the once-over.
Oh, they're definitely giving you the up and down.
I twirl.
Business. That
They're
seems...
just jealous of my massive physique.
Right, so...
Tiny little boys.
As the performers, we will keep our composure, but we too are sizing them up.
That sounds
We are
about right.
professionals.
After all.
So who's at the lead of your procession? Because, of course, I'm assuming you're all stringing out so everyone can get a chance to see each of you guys. And...
I think
Should the
Barb
godly
is
one
leading,
go first?
is leading
No,
us
I
because
think it
we're
should be
singing
Isabel.
defense success.
I'm dancing at the
What's your
beginning
charisma?
with my charisma
That's her bread and butter.
is 17.
Exactly. So you are the most beautiful. You are the so talented. You are captivate the audience.
My hat's really big.
So go ahead and give me a perception roll since you're at the head of the group.
Right.
Now, it will be a disadvantage because the revelry and the cheering and the people clapping, but there's something, especially being a bard, you might pick out.
At least
As everyone's
perception
phones
is
are-
trained. Well, I roll.
As you woke up the d20.
Right. No, I just need to make this go away. What did I get?
You rolled a 14.
So 15.
Okay. So as you're beginning your procession, you see the tap house, which is your friendly location,
Right.
and across from there is the tavern. It's basically the one that all the farmers go to because you can get cheap food, cheap drink. And out of that door, you actually hear some lute music coming out,
Is it very good lute music?
and it's actually very good.
Ooh, we have
like
to go in.
exceptional?
It's very good from what you can hear.
We need to go in.
Are you stopping the procession and going in?
I think we should maybe send one of us in. Or at least one of us, some procession or some semblance of a decent, friendly committee should go and see his lordship, to be polite. But at least one of us should go find out what is going on in the tavern, the music and the whatnot, right? It is. See if they're done.
Well, I've got
How do you
a
know?
14 for my charisma.
I-
Now, okay, question for you.
Right.
Are we camping at the Lordship's
See.
land?
Yes. Or you can stay in the basement of the tap house. You've also been offered room there year after year because it's better than sleeping outside if the weather's rough. And all he expects you to do is basically hang out and be your charming, amazing selves for folks at the tap house.
Right.
Because, of course, that's where the folks who have money to spend usually go drink, not the tavern.
Which is not the best.
The tavern is more of just a pub where you get food. The tap house is where you get good booze.
All right, where do we park our cart if we stay at the tap house?
You would just
Is this
pull it
stable?
beside the tap house. They would have a stable where, a wagon normally is anyway for deliveries and things.
And it's fairly safe there?
Yeah,
Is that something that
year after year, you've had no problems in this town.
Yes, but prior years did not have such thuggish guards.
Which is true. These new faces and you were warned of the sheriff, changing things up in town. That the local civil law enforcement has been in flux.
Right, so what
I
we
think we need
decide
to check
what
out
I
the
was
tap
doing.
house and what's going on there, but I don't think we should stay there. Because I think we'll have better luck defending ourselves if we're camping near our stuff at the Lord's. I think the thuggish guards will have a harder time messing with our stuff.
Well, in theory, the thuggish guards may actually be staying at the Lord's, property as well.
The guardhouse. They would have a barracks.
Just to give you an idea, unless they're squatting in town like they took over somebody's house, most likely they'd be staying at the garrison there.
So we might find some information out in the tap house.
Yeah. Well,
If we stop there briefly.
I think we should stop for refreshment.
Right.
It has been
and
a
here
very
comes the
long-
cake.
We have some
Cakeinator.
assistance
A giant kaiju cat comes into town.
with his pantaloons.
I've conjured him from my fan.
The gnome apparently was conjuring a giant cat to show his butt to all the cameras.
Big butt. Big butt.
Right, no, he's very happy
Cake says
Dungeons
hi.
and
to
Diggle
be
Days.
getting. Oh, that's terrible! My butt is clean.
I know, it's just a joke I couldn't help.
Oh.
So do you have a way that you would signal one of the teammates to go into the tavern?
Right, you're 14, right?
Yes, I'm a 14.
So,
For my charisma.
right, I'm going to give my secret signal to you, which is like I'm dancing, I'm playing, and I do this like fancy shake of my hips in a rhythm you should recognize.
Yes, we have worked the song out ahead of time.
Right. It's a dance maneuver
It's a
I do
thing.
to say, sort of like baseballers have things they do with their hands. We have a different language of the hips and the dancing.
You must be Latin.
There's a secret
No, we are
language.
half elves.
Right, that's right. We're half elves. We're very
We're intuitive.
and we're very graceful. I forgot I was a half elf. Right.
So go ahead and give me a quick perception roll just to make sure you notice it during all the revelry. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that would be an unnatural 20.
Yes,
Unnatural, but
You
effective.
immediately see her with all the revelry and craziness going on. But she gives you the hip signal, and the hips say, "Go to the tavern."
And I'm like, yes. You could not see that the Facebook could not see my...
No, the
je ne sais
sass.
quoi.
I have that certain je ne
Je ne
sais
sais
quoi.
The
The
sachet.
joie de vivre.
Oh my.
Okay.
And, but they can see Cake is in
Yeah.
love with our GM
Yes.
right now.
Cake is sharing in all the love.
Right.
Cake
now,
tail.
there's Kate. Aww. He's so happy.
He had yet to come over and say hello to me,
Right.
so now he
No,
must take me over.
no, he's yet to get high
Yes.
of certain pieces of your clothing, but give it time.
So as the rogue is doing your performance and heading towards the tavern,
Mm-hmm.
you hear the music coming out of the tavern as well. It's very, very good lute music. It's very quiet though, very, very subtle.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful song that you're hearing someone play.
Is it a song I recognize?
You don't. But it's a very mournful, beautiful song.
So as I enter, what does the minstrel look like?
As you step inside, your eyes, of course, adjust to the lower light inside, because, of course, it's kept nice and, dark inside.
And being a
elf.
elf, no problem.
You notice that over by the hearth, there's no fire, of course, going now, because it's daytime and, it's starting to warm up.
Warm.
You see a very attractive human female. She's in very colorful garb.
Oh.
Our bard just quivers. And she's playing the song. You just see her eyes are closed, and she's just jamming away on this tune. And then all of a sudden, you notice some writing magically appearing in front of her.
Ah.
And it's the words that she's singing, silently, really, really quietly, just lip mumbling to the song, and the words seem to be appearing in magic in front of her.
But she's singing very quietly.
Yes,
I'm good.
she's accompanying her lute music. And you just notice that all of the local drinkers that aren't coming out to see you guys, you're just like looking at their drinks, and they're like all sorrowful, listening to the music.
Is it in common?
It's common.
Okay. And it's written. It's sort of like karaoke coming up. So I'm going to sing it.
Drink.
Okay.
Oh!
Go ahead and give me a performance roll to see if you can.
Yes. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to throw in my because of course I'm let's see here.
As the cake is taking my lap.
All right. And I didn't have to. I'm already +4 for performance, but
Hey,
here we go.
advantage helps.
Yes, see?
Advantage helps.
Okay, so that would be an 11.
You're gonna go with your.
Awful.
So you start singing along, and the problem is you don't know the song, so you're stubbing on words.
Yes,
That's what
I see it appearing and I can hear the tune, but it is not my bread and butter.
It's like watching karaoke, but you don't know the tempo. So you're just a little off because it doesn't have that beautiful karaoke with the colors telling you the tempo.
This bloody road remains a mystery. Sudden darkness fills the air. It's just that they cannot appreciate my song.
And as soon as you start singing, her eyes open up, and she just and it's like sultry eyelashes open up and look at you.
That's me done on stage.
And then just a smile comes across as all of a sudden the tavern wench brings in a delicious plate of bread cookies.
Right.
Honey biscuits.
Right,
Yes.
our legendary honey biscuits
Snickerdoodle.
with this special
Elven
spice
spices.
blends from the middle regions of elfdom. Right.
Excellent. One fresh cookies.
Oddly enough, the cookies are just off camera.
Oh, well.
Oh, I get a half
No, I was
cookie.
trying
Are
to
you
show them.
teasing me with the cookie?
No, you can have a cookie.
Ooh, delicious snickerdoodles that are still soft and warm and gooey.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we roll.
A lot like the sultry look. Warm and
And-
sweet and...
A little bit spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And she just smiles at you and then, like, looks down at her lute and just continues playing the song.
Did you notice how I'm dressed?
How are you dressed?
I'm
Not
wearing...
stalled anymore.
No, I'm wearing, it's leather armor. However, the whole top part, the whole bottom part is black. Or, it's actually reversible. So, on the one side, no, it is. On one side, it's like woven leather in patches, like sort of like basket weave, but in bright colors.
Would you like a cookie?
But on the back, if I turn it
Yes.
inside out,
Thank you.
it's all black, matte black.
And
So, but I'm have of course the colorful side on right now.
Right.
Well, because we were drawing in our audience.
yeah, you're in performance mode.
Exactly.
Okay, and while you're seeing her, you're hearing the troop continuing on. So are you continuing on to the Lord's Manor in a regular pace, or are you slowing it down so the road can rejoin you guys? Okay, since you're chewing cookie and saying yes with a thumbs up, you're now going at half steps so that way the road can rejoin you guys quickly.
We're
In which case I'm going to
savouring.
dash into the alleys.
We're savouring dancing. We've moved from like a sort of
Yes,
jig to a saunter with extra hip action.
extra hip action.
I'm just pulling the part. I'm not doing no hip action.
Do I happen to have any
I want to get a
flowers
horse
or
a
tokens
donkey
in my
or something
person?
at some point.
Did you pick any flowers?
I think I would have. Do you know me, honey?
Well, your character has yet to pick any flowers.
Knights picking flowers? Well, somebody has to do it. I'm sorry.
Even the cat's giving you a dirty look. Look, you've insulted him. He's leaving.
I mean, it's more that he's coming to investigate his fiefdom, as it were. These are bloody delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So is the orc handing out flowers to the children?
Not the children.
To who?
A certain lady every now and then.
Well,
You're
like,
so nice.
And then a certain knight that I might wink to as I pass.
Well, there's not really. It's mostly
Nice.
peasantry here, but
I know, but there's like the
Renfair
gang.
lord
But I might
ladies.
have known one biblically, so I just flower behind the back.
Oh.
As I take my quarterstaff out and cartwheel over it.
Okay.
No, another one's for you.
Oh no, thank you. I'm good.
Well, can I have your third?
Oh, Cody.
It's Blain to you, madam.
Blain.
Oh, Blain, darling. Blain.
Blain. To Blain.
Blain is to blame.
Oh, I was going to ask the bartender the name of the minstrel.
Really good.
Did you go up and ask him?
Yep.
As soon as you start to say something, he just gives you the shh. Because he's listening to the song.
Right.
And he gives like kind of an annoyed look when he looks out to the street because people are like, taking up the doorway.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the street, we're being attacked by a giant, fluffy kaiju.
Well, I'm thinking maybe the gnome is making an illusion of cats. A parade of cats.
Dancing
Right,
cats
that'd be
and bow
grand, like
ties.
dancing cats leading us in. Everyone likes cats. Cat
Yes.
videos, or in our time, cat illusion.
Well,
Right.
I mean, there was that
Catastrophe.
time I was saving him by, making a swarm of cats in the alley that he was trying to dash through.
All
It was
right.
actually quite good. The guards were terrified of the cats.
Right. Well, they were sort of larger than life.
As meant to be.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So
Dire kittens.
Dire kittens. I'm going to use
It
that.
was dire, all right.
Dire situations call for dire kittens.
Beware the druid that uses giant growth on cats.
Right.
As
Dire
we've killed
kitten.
Jocelyne.
Because I've got cakes.
I'm right there on the shelf
back
with
and
the
forth across the street.
Cake,
one up next to the right there. Good.
Cake is preoccupied with my jacket now.
Mm.
So, yes, they're very tasty snickerdoodles.
I know Jocelyne had one somewhere. So.
Yeah. So what is our gnome doing besides, zipping around the streets?
He wants to get a lay of the land. He's
Just
asking people what might make a good route if you could jump really high.
They, of course, joke that, well, we remember when you came through like 3 seasons ago, you had that one acrobat who would going from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop.
Ça lui manque pas.
Is he going to be performing this year?
Sadly, no. We do have a different acrobat, though, and if you don't mind, are there any weak rooftops they shouldn't land on?
Well, one of the old timers is looking at you and he's stroking his really long beard and he's like, I wouldn't go over to the old copper's house. And of course he points, you see there's this copper tin on a pole on the outside of the house. Shows, basically, we get copper things repaired. So some of the sheriff's boys have taken over that place, and let's just say the Thatcher hasn't spent too much time fixing it up over there.
Right.
Good to know. Yes, we'll avoid that one.
Good question.
Yeah.
Right.
looks like we've got
Maybe.
another little acrobat
Don't
right
leave me
there.
hanging.
Yes, the cake is falling in love with my coat.
Right. I know that was bound to happen. He loves your, signature man spell. So.
Oh, did you?
Ode to Jim Must.
Ode to Jim, right.
Got some flashing things in front of you, Ray.
Right, it is.
These are her magical D20s that when they roll 20, they flash.
Right.
See, it's still thinking about it.
Now you can shake them up to sort of trick them into flashing, give you a bit of moment of joy before the
Void return.
hammer drop. I don't think it doesn't do 19, only
Nope.
20. So
They're not Pathfinder dice.
they're not
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder dice. They're Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Hey, 3.5 had that system too.
We don't talk about that. We like edition 4.
Ooh.
Fighting words.
I know.
5th edition.
5th edition's a nice common ground, but I still like
4th edition is nice. We still have to do that one of these times.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. No, 4th edition's grand.
4th edition was good at getting a lot of people into D&D.
Oh, yeah, no, right. I mean, I thought I'd never play it, and then I had a good DM. Makes all the difference.
Always.
Right.
Right.
So the bartender looks at you and he's just like, psh, while he's listening to the music play.
It's like, obviously, she has ensorcelled them.
Right, I know. With her,
Yeah.
He was trying to steal it.
I tried you.
Okay,
obviously
hold
through
it.
your processions.
So, does everybody in the bar look like they are captivated?
No, they're just kind of like somberly looking at their drinks and just like enjoying the somber tone of the
So,
song.
any of the guards in there?
No. Oddly enough, there's none of them in there.
Right.
They steal the good booze.
Okay, well then,
They're going down town. Downtown.
Who is
like,
this? Is this somber song?
it's like, I am going to actually stand in front of the bartender, blocking his way. He's like, the sooner you tell me her name, the sooner I will leave you alone.
We're assertive in our circles.
Oh, that's where I went wrong with Master's teachings. He said assertive. I thought it was insertive.
Oh no, right.
So he looks at you and kind of gives a half smirk, and he kind of reaches over and grabs a dirty cup and starts cleaning it out. And then her name is Siri.
Siri. Thank you very much, monsieur.
And then as soon as you move, he puts the cup down and the towel down and goes back to listening. And you kind of, as you turn around and do your little, are you heading towards the exit?
I'm just like, I'm gonna try and get her attention again.
Oh, when you turn around, you've got her attention because she's kind of scowling at you, making a scene during her performance.
Mm-hmm. I will give her a big smile, and I will bow. And then I will start juggling as I leave.
Okay.
And it's like performance tonight.
We're so friendly. It's just so...
Circus Chimera!
Right. We make friends with all the performers.
Yes.
They just love us. Right.
One of us.
Come join us.
I'm not
We've
into
got-
that stage.
We've got space.
So does our resident strong woman do anything as you're going through town? I mean, you do have the cart. I mean, you could try to do something fancy like pick up the wheelbarrow instead of pulling it.
Well, just throw it on one shoulder. Basically, I'm just going along and getting our stuff. Since I am the strong woman and to show off that I am going to be performing tonight, I think I'm going to grab our wizard and bench press him.
Oh.
Well, you do know the gnome is only like, what, 2.5, 3 feet? He's very tiny.
I'll do a bicep curl with him.
Under the chin.
So all of a sudden he's running by you and you're going to try to catch him and do some arm curls?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a athletics check to see if you can catch the nimble guy.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're doing your little zipping around. So it's going to be a D20 plus you could use your athletics.
I think this is a 20. Okay.
It's the roundish-ish of them all.
Yeah.
Right. It's sort of more...
Okay, not really great. I got a 5 plus 5, so 10.
So 10?
Does she miss and grab the
By
door?
the way, I can't resist swindling or sending people who are more powerful than me, so that's why I stopped the audience for a moment.
Who says she's more powerful than me?
Singing with magic.
That's why I fucked with her.
So you reach out as the gnome comes zipping by, and he just continues by. So you did notice that while you're doing your thing, she tried to pick you up again.
Hey, we've had this conversation.
Again.
You can do it for the intro and the outro, but that's it.
So you just barely missed grabbing him as he went zipping by.
Well, dang.
But you do have the card. I mean, you could do some fancy strength thing with the card, or you could walk up and pick up someone in the crowd and do something impressive with them.
I could come running out and you could kill me.
Pick up somebody in the crowd.
Okay, you're gonna go for like a beautiful woman, a child, one of the farm, working guys.
The donkey.
Farm working guy.
So you're gonna go for a big, full strapping grown adult.
Yeah, because I'm a half orc, half barbarian.
Okay,
Working
good.
tutu.
No, you're all barbarians.
So you're gonna go out there and do
Fräulein.
the whole grab them by the waist and put them on your shoulder type of thing?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Oh, much better. 15 plus 5,
Oh,
20.
you easily grab this nice young strapping adult. His friends are laughing and pointing at him as you pick him up and put him on your shoulder, all dainty like. And of course the crowd's cheering this, and because of course they're confused with what you're doing grabbing at the gnome. But this is fun because you're making audience participation, and the guy is just kind of like smiling at you with this awkward look, like please don't drop me.
He just wants a spanking.
And I'm just a barbarian to give it to him.
I thought, right.
And the crowd goes wild.
Oh, so does he.
So now I put him down, shake his hand, and go back to pulling the card.
No kiss
Okay.
on the cheek, Fräulein?
What?
No kiss on the cheek, Fräulein?
Well, I will shake his hand and give him the eye, of course.
Oh. Wait, one eye or both of the eyes?
Just one eye.
Let's not go all event horizon on that.
One eye.
He's not, he hasn't earned both eyes.
All of a sudden, the third eye comes into
Gotta earn
play.
that one.
Whoa.
So, of course, all of his friends start patting him on the back, giving him a hard time, and he's just, blushing as he looks at you as you're doing the cute little orc in makeup and colorful garb. And then, of course, your cart starts taking off, and folks are like, wow, look at the cart. If I had her working in my fields, I'd get twice as many, fruits and vegetables. So, and as you guys are...
Mess up my fingernails.
Dirt.
As your cart starts getting pulled away, you notice the rogue comes juggling her knives out of the tavern, and of course the tap house across the way. You recognize him. He's this big, portly guy. I mean, he's like 6'8". You'd swear he's got some giant blood in him. Big human with big gut, but just a small mustache and bald head, and he's just like smiling when he sees you guys coming to town. And immediately he sticks his head in there, and you guys barely hear him, but he shouts back to one of his assistants. And a few minutes later, you see out of the side of the tap house, the basement doors flash open, and someone's pulling out a small little 30-gallon barrel. And you notice there's this teenage boy in a barrel following you guys in your procession.
Nice.
And he's got 3 tankards hanging off his belts.
Nice.
You recall that usually he comes out there and plops the barrel, breaks the lid, and starts offering half drinks to everybody. One per person, of course, until the cart shows up with booze for sale.
Nice.
Because, synergy, man. It's all about synergy.
Right, and we like him, and he gives us good rates, I bet. Because, quid pro quo.
Exactly.
Procession to let him hand out the booze and then have the for sale.
Can I make a big flashy display and turn and bless?
Yeah, you by all means can. So are you going to be really religious about it? Or are you going to just be funny haha blessing?
Midway.
Okay, so you're going to...
devout in intent, but flashy for the sake of it.
Okay. So of course everyone's like, ooh, they're salivating, waiting for this barrel to be broke open so they can get some drinks.
Right.
Okay, so the procession's heading out to the Lord's Manor. You notice that you picked up 3 friends from the center of town. They're basically skulking around the edges. These three guards, and they're following you guys.
God.
They're just keeping an eye on you,
Right.
but one of them you distinctly recognize because his trousers have a little blood stain on them.
I'm going to have to flirt with him again now. Ugh.
Oh, he's been bragging with his boys about that.
The boys that are back in town?
Oh yeah.
He's gonna get it on with our Ray.
That's what he thinks.
Right, he's missing some things, or maybe he has too many things for me. But alright, fine. I can pretend when I need to.
You will act to summons the goddess.
Or something. I'm pragmatic, I suppose.
She's a consummate actress.
Right.
So as you guys, your procession's going, you're coming up to the hill, you can see the Lord's Manor. It's this nice little old castle. You really wouldn't trust it in some kind of massive siege, but it's 100 years ago it was really impressive. But right now it's a good safe place. The entire town could retreat to it in an emergency.
Good. So, do we have a normal sort of way we proceed to meeting his lordship, or do we normally do something theatrical on his front lawn as we come to his gates?
Usually there's a bit of theatrics, and then the steward will come out, and then he will enter and announce you, and then you and the procession and as many people as you can fit into the hall will come in with you guys.
Right.
Because of course the Lord, he really enjoys the whole seeing the people happy, and it's one of the highlights of his years when you guys come to town.
Good. Is that happening as we approach?
The steward is out and watching you guys. You see him. The steward's looking really old this year. I mean, he's like a 60-year-old human, which is pretty old and weather-worn, but he's looking exceptionally,
concerning.
haggard. Yeah.
It's a certain concerning level, like much more elderly than we're used to from him.
It looks like he's got a just heavy heart,
Oh, he needs to wrangle some pixies.
or something.
Melvin's going to come by
Something has
the
happened
bar
that
here.
made him more careworn.
Right.
Ask if we're going to need a set to make fun of the sheriff this time.
Because
Because I'm kind of feeling that, and you know how I am. There might be one just thrown in.
Are you trying to bait them?
I mean, we should see what the lay of the land is. If we need to make fun, revelry, or make final, I don't know. We'll see. We've got to do right by the people,
Oh, of course, of
The
course.
people.
the town. Right, bring them art, but also freedom.
Ah,
Obviously.
gotcha.
Freedom!
So he's going to sit on the wheelbarrow and start painting like a sheriff's star on one of the doors.
Okay.
Mm. Right.
It is so tempting just not to sink one of my daggers into the center of that star.
Right, so, are we getting close to the stewards?
you're definitely getting up.
So I'll do a very flashy, with lots of twirling of capes and whatnot, sort of bow thing. You know, the huge he's used to.
Ta-da!
Right.
Setting up a flashy arch for her to walk through.
Right. And, dear stewards of the town, we are so grateful to be amongst you again, and so honoured by the opportunity. We hope to make our graces known to his lordship, if he would deign to see us.
And he's all stoked looking, and then all of a sudden you just see his fake stoicism break, and he just smiles and laughs.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's happy to see. The Lord will be glad that you come to visit. And he kind of like looks down the procession of all the townsfolk. Like, where's the rest of your band?
Well, we had a bit of a reorganisational period, and some changes have happened. So we're trying out a new setup right now.
His lordship will be glad that the Brandlebar Circus is in town.
We've changed our name a bit, but we are still, at our heart, the same heart at our heart.
And of course, when he says this, you all kind of feel a chill.
Right.
That's the old group's name. Pity in the feels.
Right.
Gnome walks up, hands him an old token from the old troop, and says, "Well, sir, sorry to say, changes are coming, and we all know that, don't we? So we're here to help make it right."
And as soon as you say that, his eyes kind of glance at a few people in the crowd. He's like, Change is inevitable, but
Not a race kid.
let's go warm up his lordship's heart, because I know seeing even a fraction of you all will make him happy, and you always bring such cheer to the people.
His lordship is always kind and generous and good, and we are honoured to be welcomed by him and his noblesse and his goodness and his thirst for justice, which we really admire.
And speaking of thirst, and he kind of like eyes gestured to the end of the procession where you see that
Right.
barrel gets stood up. The kid pulls out 2 tankards off his little tankard straps and just bangs them into the lid, causing it to break open and sink into the barrel.
Right, that's
And that
hygienic.
crowd goes wild.
And my old bones don't move as fast as they used to. If you could give me a few steps head start and bring me a tankard of something to moisten my lips.
I think we can do that. Know what I mean?
He's got the acrobat skills.
And he proceeds
him on the end of
to
a
turn around on his scepter of authority
I
and goes
am
walking
acrobat.
back in. But you notice that there's a definite bit of a spryness in his step. That
It's good.
you're doing good for his heart.
Good.
But
Right.
not so much the liver.
So is someone gonna grab
That's
a
the boy, that's
tankard
not
of
us.
Right. One
Evie
of us
for you.
will.
Turn around, I can plow through the crowd just fine.
He
I'll
car-
look at it.
she carries the kid with the barrel, with the tankards, all in one hand.
Come on,
see,
kid, we're all going up there anyway.
In the other arm, she finds a puppy.
The funny thing is, at this point, you guys realize with her pulling the cart, there's now like 8 kids hanging on the tailgate of the cart that just jumped on
they're
during
like,
the procession. Especially when she lets it down and they all go flying up like a foot in the air.
And they giggle.
So the steward turns around and, gestures you, don't let me get too far ahead.
Put him in the cart.
He
With the barrel.
He goes up to the path, and of course you guys are getting all these feels because, year after year you've been here, the walls just, the joy of your friends and family being with you, and it just itching the feels that your loved ones aren't with you. Kind of also sharpens the resolve, yes.
The murder.
The proverbial daggers.
Right.
And as you guys are coming up, and he's about to get into the entranceway where there's this great reverb where he can pound that staff and it just echoes down there. Go ahead and all of you give me a perception roll.
Passive or?
Well, you're rolling, so not passive.
Okay.
Is that a 20?
That's a d20. Plus your wisdom
19.
bonus, unless you have 19. That's
19.
good.
A big 9. 9.
15.
You're just enjoying...
15?
15?
Yeah.
Plus wisdom?
Yep.
I've got an 11.
Okay.
6.
Well, there you go.
Okay, you, of course, are enjoying the reverb of that hallway.
yeah,
You're
it's
like,
so
if I could
good.
sing there, that would...
Be perfect. I might like.
You're looking at
strum-
all the new things that are out there because
strum
there happens to be more
chords.
weapons. Lots of crossbows and spears that normally aren't there.
Hmm.
And they look brand new manufactured.
Concerning.
I'm gonna see if the guards following us are eyeing those as well.
Oh yeah, they're looking at all of you guys and then weapons and then you two, our barbarian and our rogue, who are very cautious apparently. You notice that from one of the windows in the tower, the shutters get opened up, and there's a dark-haired gentleman that has an immaculately groomed goatee with mustache.
It's always the goatee. You've got to be very careful.
And he's just like wearing his undergarments, his chemise.
Sweet baby test.
Seems to be like strapping on a sword belt. Because
Is that
of the
what they
noise.
call it?
And you notice that there's 2 women.
Mm.
If you could almost call them women because they're that young.
Oh.
They're about maybe 16ish.
Oh,
He is so
dastards.
dead.
And they're just like clinging on to him.
Right, because they don't have much choice, do they?
And
Pretend or...
And the 2 of you actually recognize them as children from previous years, but
Do
apparently
they look like they want to be there?
they seem to be almost fangirlish on him. But then
still
again,
power to
nauseating.
my-
I don't care.
Still
They're
predatory.
16. It's sick.
There's no consent that can be made in that situation. We are taking him downtown.
He's gone.
just give Juliet that type of speech.
Right, I will. Downtown.
This dude is Uki.
But at least Juliet was getting it on with another young person.
True, he's
Right.
definitely in his 30s.
No, it's not right. I don't approve. I'm not alright with it.
And I'm assuming one of you 2 elbow your bard to look up at the window.
Yeah.
Since she was completely oblivious to it. And so,
I was tuning
and
my
then
lute.
one of you bumps the group's attention. You all look up and see the guy, and he's just like looking at you guys like buffoons. Like, what?
Right, I know you're going to be sorry is what's going to happen. You and your sword and your
Belt.
And
So
then-
you can call it.
Right.
And then he just kind of like
cute little dagger.
gets that proverbial mucusy cough, and then just like hawks a loogie off. Doesn't care if it goes into the crowd or not, but he just like hawks the loogie and then slams the shutters shut.
Is there a guard near me?
Yes, there is.
I don't recognize him. Who's he?
You don't know the sheriff? I thought you'd been around here before.
Oh, hadn't the sheriff been replaced? Thought so. Maybe I was wrong.
Well,
This is a new
that's
sheriff,
the
really.
sheriff. He's gonna be lord of this keep any time now. The old man's gonna die, and the sheriff's gonna promote all of us.
A little early for concubines, isn't it?
Well,
And then I'll continue walking.
and he just like stops, thinks about it, and then actually you hear a little chuckle out of him as he's thinking about it.
Boom.
Boom. Right.
He's getting his cheeks before they hatch.
I'm going to count something for him before they hatch. Snatch them.
And did you give the steward the Circus Chimera name, or
Right. No.
we can say as you were walking? You
Right. I
mentioned.
gave it as I was walking.
Okay,
Right.
so I just want to make sure as your lordship, I present Circus Chimera.
Ta-da!
Hopefully he mentions the formally name, so it's
You actually hear the shuffling of his, because he's wearing his indoor shoes.
cool.
As he comes up to his lordship's little meeting room and you can tell he's like whispering something really fast.
Formerly the Bramblebod Circus.
And you just hear this very happy Jocelyne of claps. Let them in, the circus is in town!
Right, I'm going to put on my extra special dance hip maneuver just for his lordship.
Aww.
Right, no, because I'm very hippie, apparently.
So he loves you guys. Give me a performance roll with advantage.
Oh,
He loves you guys. You've already won this audience.
big balls.
Big brass balls.
Right.
That'll be...
So 20 or
24?
21. I feel good about that.
No, sorry, 23.
23?
Oh,
Okay, I know some of the numbers are hard on those dice.
Right, no. it's
So
good.
you are doing this beautiful song and dance, extra hip motion without being lewd.
Right,
Because you know the old boy doesn't...
Loot, not loot.
He wants you to be beautiful and feel good about
Right, it's
yourself.
all about the loot.
Yes. As you're doing
I
this
think-
cool
I think
Spanish
Madame
lewd
Jazz
action.
Now her voice up in my hand while she juggles daggers.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Give me a strength roll with advantage since you're playing to your audience.
Wouldn't that be athletics?
Yeah,
Roll
athletics.
So I roll 2 20s?
You roll 2 20s and add your athletics to whatever you get on the best roll.
Oh, wait, lost it. Oh.
Oh, right.
Obviously, if the dice has ran away, it's going to be a good roll.
I got a 17
Oh,
Is that
that's-
before your skill or after your skill?
with the skill.
Okay, so with your 17, you pick her up and she's performing in your hand. It's beautiful. She's doing this whole ballet thing where she's doing her juggle while you're holding her up.
It's like we practice or something.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
almost... So what is the cleric doing? Blain is cartwheeling? Give me an acrobatics roll. Then we find out if you have acrobatics.
So it's gonna go off of dexterity?
You actually should have an acrobatics skill.
Yeah.
Because the skill includes your dex.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So you get a +1. So 13.
You're
Actually,
No,
No,
+1. You'll get your acrobatics.
which has that dex
So +1 plus that,
okay.
13.
Okay.
So skills already have your
duh,
stat
okay.
bonuses in them, and
Ray
are
was
usually better because
Right.
usually you have some kind of proficiency and stuff. But you're doing some cartwheels. You feel that you're doing great. The crowd.
Do I
And
trip
remember,
over my
you
roll?
have advantage to roll twice.
Roll twice.
Roll a second
again.
time.
Take the
And
higher
see if
number.
it's higher.
It is. He's got a 15.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
16, you are doing acrobatic flips. You are entertaining the crowd, and people are just shoving in afterwards to follow you guys. And you notice that there's like hands putting mugs over people's shoulders to and the sad thing is there's only 3 mugs going around. But this guy is running
We're
really
all
quickly.
friends.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of alcohol.
Yes.
So.
One should hope.
you
After all,
just
where my
be
people come from,
friendly.
there's only so many things.
Plus, there's a different understanding of things like germs.
Yes.
Mm.
It's all the miasma's fault, not the drinking from the
Right,
same water.
miasma. No, and
I
the
can get
humans.
my asthma from that tower window.
Well, that sounds good. Let's get rid of him.
I don't know. If you get any closer, you'd realize he's perfumed to the gills.
I call that a
Yeah.
miasma. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, no. Mm.
He's probably wearing something really hideous.
Oh no, it's floral and fruity.
You know,
Like some strange
Calvin
bird.
Klein for men.
Oh.
That's just raw.
Do you remember that perfume called New West from the 90s? Smelled like you were going down the detergent aisle at the grocery store. It was very popular. And every time I smelled someone, I was like, is that Downey? No, it was New West. Or it could be Axe body spray, I suppose.
Blain.
So that's worse.
But the commercials tell me if I douse myself in it with a double extra zigzag spray.
Double pitch to chesty is what
Yes, there you go. That's the
What?
one.
No, that's evil and terrible.
I know, I'm trying to get him with my dagger.
It's an alternative to deodorant and antiperspirant.
It's an alternative to life.
It's an alternative to mating.
That's not what the commercials say. They say
What?
one spray and you get more girls than the sheriff.
Right, because advertisements are always completely accurate.
Oh yeah, believe everything you read on the internet and see on television.
Right, no, I always believe the advertising.
Oh yes.
And as you were performing, see how I bring that back to the back
Yeah,
back
no, it's
around?
good.
I
Right.
try.
Before I go
Bring it
to
around,
Citrus
what?
Rat, what?
You just see he's just sitting there and your lordship before you is turning to a small boy. His eyes are glistening, his cheeks are ruby. He's just like wheezy laughing. I mean, he is loving watching you guys all perform.
That's good. But he's not actually turning into a child.
No.
That would be
That'd be
insane.
very
And,
awkward.
and by the way, the strong woman is holding you in her arms right now while you're performing.
Well, I'm.
You were out of the room, so I figured I'd let you know before you do something crazy.
Right.
And
on
he
her
is
forehead.
just enjoying
depends.
watching you.
What's above me?
Like 12 feet tall ceilings.
No, like chains or.
Oh, there's chandeliers, but they're safely away from you. You're not gonna hit anything.
Yeah, see ya.
Because I am the Tyrant Walker.
I mean, if you want to try some crazy athletic jumping out of the strong woman's hand to hang.
But the strong woman could catapult.
I mean,
She could.
it's true.
That's true.
We should really rehearse.
Trial by
However,
fire. And by fire, I mean
instead of
all
improv.
over.
Right.
And he's just giddy, clapping, and the audience is loving this. I mean, as many people that could safely crowd in around all of you while you're performing, because they're giving you plenty of stage
That's
space.
good.
But people are just loving this, and he just like beckons you guys forward.
Right, so I'm singing and dancing and playing the lutes.
And I'm balancing and balancing.
Right.
And you balance and balance and balance.
Behind y'all, go up to the lordship.
Right, and
And the gnome will land his dancing lights on him and approach.
good.
Lordship!
Oh, thank you. And you can see, like, for a second, he's pausing. And Circus Chimera. That's so. Why the new name, my friends?
Changes everywhere, my lordship. And unfortunately, some changes are necessary.
And sometimes they're not. And sometimes they're temporary. That's why we're Chimera. Changeable. We could transform back into our original formulation, but we're trying out a few new acts, and so it seemed a good idea to go by a different name at the moment.
You truly are alchemical. I thank you again for coming and visiting us on your way through town. Is there anything that the good people can do for you? And of course you hear the people start, huzzah!
Well, tonight they could grace us with their presence at our big top. Well, we'll have quite the show for them.
And of course people start cheering and laughing, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do if this is just coming to town.
Right, and your lordship, do you recommend the normal camping grounds, or what news have you of the fields and pastures and the environs around us?
You're always welcome on my grounds. I mean, we always have you at the tap house as well, so whichever accommodation you find better, as long as you come and visit me often.
Indeed, my lord, we would never miss it.
My bones are getting cold and achy lately, and I've been hard pressed to leave these walls lately.
Well, my lord, I don't see any reason why we couldn't hold it here.
There are very many spacious halls.
And immediately as you say it, he just like gets this kiddish face up like, yes, they bought it. They're gonna stay here.
Okay, we made one guy stay good.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
It'll
holding
give us easier access. Shut up.
right, holding it inside would be ever
Plus-
so delightful,
So
your
many
lordship.
corners to hide bodies behind.
I love how much
Acceptable?
joy and happiness you bring to these halls. You warm my heart as much as you warm up this community.
We return only the vast wealth of generosity and kindness that you have always been at the ready to share with all those who come to your hall, your lordship.
And he kind of like, for a second, it's kind of somber, says, tell me, my dear lady. And he bows very deeply, which for someone of his rank is an honorable thing.
Right.
What are your troops' numbers this season? Surely this can't be all of you.
Right. Is this all of us? I can't remember if we
have
had more
3
people.
You guys plus your 3
We're
NPCs.
hoping to meet up with more in the City of
Right.
Light.
This is just a small sampling of our troop right now, and we're hoping to connect with the rest of our troop in the City of Lights, where they've been for some time, we understand it by the calendar, as it were, your lordship.
So the usual arrangement to be in town for the Festival of Masks.
Indeed. The usual arrangement with some new spins on our numbers as we perform them. If your lordship has time, I'm certain we would be glad for any wisdom or insights you have as to our current presentations and how you think they would do in the City of Lights, and anything your lordship would be willing to share with us, trying to give him a knowing look, and
Wink, say
right,
more.
right, in a performance-y way, or maybe it's a deceptive-y way for the people watching us.
His insight was crap, so he's not picking up on anything.
That's all right. It would be very hard.
Your subtlety is not very subtlety.
It's no, it's a big old 7, right?
Oh, I'm just a border lord. I mean, I don't know many things going around the City of Lights, but you should meet the new sheriff. He's from the City of Lights.
Is he?
Yes. The nobility apparently thinks I might be laxed in my tax collection, and they sent him to assist these old bones and doing the tithing for the year. So basically, that's a good time for everyone to wrap it up.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.
Here in the Force of Elandril, we elves defend the woods from beasts and men. I myself have helped drive off goblin raiders, slain a giant spider, and composed an elven symphony for the Blood Moon Harvest Festival, and that was before lunch. So when I'm not sliding down the trunk of a barbarian elephant beast after killing it and its occupants with only my dagger and a few arrows, I look forward to coming home to a Dungeon Crate. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service crafted specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handmade items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. As an elf, I appreciate quality craftsmanship, and Dungeon Crate delivers, even if it's put together by humans.
Sir, sentries have discovered several dwarves and a wizard trespassing in our woods.
I was wondering what that smell was. DungeonCrate.com. Are you ready? Let the adventure begin.